Happy Wednesday! Thank you for joining me here tonight. We are going to continue on the Granny Square Quilt. We are sewing strips together, and these will turn into these, and those will turn into our little zigzaggy border. So these are actually the corners. We're going to get all the pieces ready for that. So this is that middle border of this quilt. So thanks for joining me today. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make cute embroidery kits for the beginning crafter. And I'm here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, and it's a time that we can relax and craft together. I'm here for about an hour, and I work on projects from beginning to end, so you can be part of the whole process along the way. So we are well into the Granny Square Quilt. Here is the pattern. I do have a link to this. It's by Lissa Alexander, and it was for American Patchwork and Quilting. I am doing a fun teal color for the outside of mine, and like I said, we're kind of working on the middle border this week, and it's a really patchworky, cute-looking border, but it's not patchwork. It's not made out of scrap fabric. It is made out of these strips, so we're going to continue that today. I think we'll actually get to the pressing and cutting stage of these. We have a little bit more sewing, but we're working through that. So I'm excited. Let's get it going. Thanks for joining me again, everyone. All right. Hello, everyone. Ooh, Linda says that she finished sewing and cutting the 10-inch strips. Dang, that is awesome. So we'll definitely get done sewing today, I think. So we need 30 groupings total, right? And when we did our little test one on Monday, we got 2 done. So this represents 28 groupings of these strips. So all we have to do is sew this onto here to finish our 28. So ultimately we need the 3 mix and match ones in the middle, and then our 2 main colors, which is the teal for my quilt, the main color on the outside. So we just got to sew this to this, hopefully without duplicating any fabrics on them. We'll have to keep an eye out for that, and that's the deal. Then we will press them all and then chop them up. I'm hoping we can get a little bit to this chopping up stage today as well. But I always underestimate how long it takes to press, so we might just get through pressing, but that would be a great stage to be at as well. So, all right, let's sew. All right, at the machine again for the day. Oh, I do. That's right. We might run out of thread. Oh, maybe I do need. Oh no, I do have one more. Okay. I was thinking we might run out of bobbin thread, but I do have one last bobbin. I'm going to keep this nearby. We were doing a lot of sewing, and it's that type of sewing where it feels like you'll need to change bobbin at some point during this. So we will see. All right. I think, how do we got this going on here? Okay, so here's a set of 3. I have my 2 piles, my set of 2 piles and my set of 3 piles. So we just need to match them together. See, I think, going around this way would be the way to do it. All right. This makes sense. All right, let's see if we can get in a rhythm of this. We just need to do 28 at this point. That shouldn't take forever, I'd like to think. We just had another absolutely beautiful, gorgeous day, like 70-degree day. Had the garage door open again at the warehouse, just like bringing in all that light and warmth. It was actually warmer outside than it was inside. It was just amazingly gorgeous. Love it. I think we're supposed to have a pretty nice day tomorrow, and then Thursday. This is a little different length. I'm going to just err on the side of right here. But on Friday, it's supposed to be super warm, like, I don't know, high 70s is what I heard. but it's supposed to be a little bit breezier, so that's kind of a bummer. But it's a bummer because I'm like, I'm going to spend the whole day outside. I'm going to sit in the chair outside with the laptop and work. I'm still kind of hoping for that, but if it's really breezy, that's going to be kind of difficult. But I can at least get a really nice walk in, I'm thinking. Marie says it's beautiful. It was beautiful in Wisconsin, too. That's nice. So you guys probably got what we had yesterday, which was just hard to get that much more gorgeous out. It really was absolutely beautiful the past couple days. Okay, so some of these lengths are a little bit different. It's because we started sewing on this side. So I'm going to just err on the side of kind of like evening it out. Meaning I'm just going to pretend I don't have that extra there. So I'll kind of line up my blues. It's not going to really matter because we're going to lose like, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch or so when we trim these anyway. So it's not even, we're going to cut off these edges, so it's not going to matter. So really, I wouldn't have to really line it up, but then most of them are lined up at least. Most of the strips. All right, I'm kind of excited to press all these. I think that'll actually be kind of relaxing. So I'm just keeping an eye out if any of these are the same, and if they are, then I might switch it out for a different one. But at some point, you know, once we get down to like 5, we'll have to like match them up just to make sure that we're fine, I think. Ooh, this is going to be such a long stretch of strips here. Oh, dang, Sylvia said they had a bunch of snow. 10 inches of snow? Boo! Yep, that's a coming. It's funny, it was so warm out today and yesterday, but I was standing by the door just looking out. You know, it's just like a parking lot, or not even, it's just like cement, you know, back lots of these warehouses. But you can see where they piled up the snow from the snow that we had 2 weeks ago, that 6.5+ inches that we had. That snow is still piled up and melting. So there's a reminder that we did have some already. But, so beautiful out. I ate my lunch. Oh, see now here it's the same one, so that's what I'm trying to avoid. So I'm going to grab the next one. All right, so this is a dark blue. It's not the same color blue, so that's good. We'll do this one. But I ate my lunch in the sunshine, the sun that was coming in, and it's just, if I just feel like I gotta soak it up while it's there. It's like a bonus summer. That's what we had today and yesterday. So beautiful. Oh, Pam says watching my nails is mesmerizing. Nice color. Oh, that reminds me. I don't think I have my my purple scissors that I've been using. That's almost this exact color, but I don't have that near me. But I have a different purple scissors that I'll be using tonight. There we go. Now I can finally use that one that we couldn't use for the last two. This is a nice little series together. Oh man, Sylvia the snow. Sylvia says it shakes the house when it comes off the roof. That the 10 inches of snow. I believe it. We have a weird thing that happens here, and it's not snow related, but it is cold related. Like it is mega cold related. So if it gets to like negative, whatever degree, there'll be this point where the house just cracks, and it's the loud. It sounds like a tree hitting the house, but it's not. It's the rafters like shifting because they're like condensing or something because of the cold. It happens almost every year, but it only happens when it is so cold, like, negatives, that it happens. And it's such a weird sound. Like, it really sounds like your house is caving in, or like that a tree hit the house. But we like have Googled it and looked it up, and people are like it's the rafters adjusting and shifting with that amount of cold. It's not snow related because it happens whether there's snow on the roof or not. But ugh, that's when you know it's winter. That's just not fun at all. A lot of light colors. There's going to be a lot of light colors in this border. It'll be kind of pretty though, I think. I think it's going to feel a little bit different than the blocks though. I don't have a full... It's not like the same fabrics that are in the blocks. It is the same fabrics in the blocks, but it's not as much of a variety as the blocks have, so there's going to be a lot happening in the blocks that aren't happening in this border, but oh well. We'll see what that looks like. Oh, so the next one has a matching one. So this isn't the end of the world that it's matching like that, but I'm attempting, at least for the time being, to not do that. So I'm going to grab the next one in line again. There we go. That'll work. Oh, Sylvia, Rebecca's wondering where you live, that you got that 10 inches of snow. That's a lot. That's a chunk. It's funny, it's my brother, he always lives like in the mountains, on the ski hill and stuff. So whenever I'm like, oh my God, we got 4 inches of snow, he'll be like, we got 4 feet of snow. So I know that whatever we have in inches, he usually has in feet over there, which is crazy. Ooh, that's pretty. All these blues. Oh, Colleen says Alaska, so maybe she knows where Sylvia lives. That makes sense. Oops, I don't want to accidentally sew in another piece here. There we go. Felt like I was holding a little bit more than 2 layers of fabric. Alright. Ooh, this is another cute little grouping. Oh, I hope so, Marie. Marie says this is going to be the cutest border when it's finished. I'm really excited for it. I think it's going to be really cute. I've never done a fancy border like this before. If I do put borders on quilts, it's just like, let's plop on, a big fat solid color or something just to get it done. But this one has this fancy border, and it actually has 3 borders. This is the middle border. So it has a small border of just the solid color, and then it has this fancy border, and then it has another solid color around this. I mean, it looks like just one big border, but, you know, if you're splitting it up in ideas, then yes, it is technically a middle, or an inner and outer and a middle border. But yeah, so I usually don't get this fancy, but I think it's going to look like just extra cute. I'm excited for it. I have a feeling that I'm going to be way more open to like fun borders after this quilt. Usually I just want to get the job done, but I think, you know, if I know that this is part of the process, then we'll do it. Man, this one doesn't want to unfold. Okay, it feels like I got a lot of fabric here again. Let's just make sure I'm not sewing over stuff. Ooh, I kind of am. Ooh, let's get that out of the way. Alright, I think we're good still. I don't think I sewed it into itself. Suppose we'll find out when we try and press it. Like, I'm nervous about this one. Let's just try and open it up. Okay, good. I was thinking I sewed like part of this part into that seam. But nope, we're fine. We're getting down there. I think we're around the 10 more mark. There we go. Oh, this is that really dark blue that's blends in with the base of my sewing machine here. It's hard for me to see. Hard for me to see if I'm all lined up. There we go. Getting there. Feels good to just sew these strips. A little relaxing. Now this has some selvage in here, so we'll have to just keep an eye on that. Maybe we'll cut from the other end on this one. Then we'll cut off that selvage. This fabric must have just barely been 10 inches. And we just went with it. Another one of those. I'm just thinking to myself, how we're going to divide this up in groups of 4 groups of 44. So each border is the same length, so there's 4 borders, and they each get like 44 of these little cut up pieces, like 44 of these. Once we cut up our strips, they'll each get 44 of these. I'm just trying to think what's the best way to group those, because I don't really want to throw everything in a big stack and swirl them up and then pick 44 out. I like the concept of that, but I don't want to like damage the fabric or pull on any of the seams or anything like that. So I'm wondering if there's a way, like as we cut, we just start putting them in piles. But then it's like, how do I keep track of the count as I go? I don't know. That's what I'm thinking of when I'm not saying anything, is like, how am I gonna count all these? All right. Look at this dark green. So here's a dark green strip. I was thinking there wasn't much green. There's not any of that bright green, though, that like fluorescent lime green, that citrus green. It would have been nice to have at least one of those in the border, but oh well. I guess there is on the corners, so that actually might be kind of weird that it's not in the border at all, but it's in all of the corners. So, whatever. It'd be awesome if we got through this without having to do a new bobbin. That'd be pretty slick. Again, I'm like testing fate a little bit by saying that out loud. How many more do we have here? I'm going to do a quick count because as we get to the end, I want to make sure that I don't end up with ones that are duplicating. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we'll do at least, we'll do 3 more. And then I will, the last like 4, we'll look at them just to make sure that we're not like duplicating fabrics. We'll just try and rearrange. But we can do a couple more before then. But we're getting close. Okay, so Linda says, when cutting, I made 6 piles and then put together into one pile. So that's the thing. That's exactly it. I don't want to get... Okay, just to finish. When I was cutting, I made 6 piles and then put them together into one pile so you don't get the same next to each other. That's perfect. That's what I want, but then I need to divide it up into the 44 each. And I think I want to do that before I start sewing them. I don't know. Or another option is I could just... I like your idea of like spreading it out as I cut up because then it won't be all... then it will be more blended together. I do like that. But maybe I just start sewing. Maybe I don't count 44 because that just sounds super tedious. So maybe I don't count them up. But maybe I just sew them in segments of 10? Because in theory, we could sew them in smaller segments and then sew all those segments together later. So maybe I just think about it that way. Like, I'll sew segments of 2. And then I'll sew those into segments of 4. And then I'll sew those into segments of 8. And then see where we're at. Or once they're all in segments of 4, then I could put 11. That's a good idea. I'll do that. I'll just sew. We'll sew segments of 2, then we'll sew segments of 4, and then at that point, then I just need to count to 11 a couple times. All right, I'm feeling good about that. Okay, good. There's a plan. So I will just make a giant stack. So I like that idea. I will cut them and kind of put them in separate piles, and then we'll just blend those piles together so it will feel mixed without me having to do work. And... then we'll sew groupings of 2 without thinking about it, just grabbing 2, sew them together, and then we can go on from there. Yep. Okay, so that's what Carol's saying too. So pairs and then pair those and etc. But like after the second pair, we'll have 4, and then 4 times 11 is 44, and that's what we need in each. So okay, I'm feeling good. All right, so we're down to the last few. So I'm just gonna start matching these. I just want to make sure that I don't end up with one that has fabrics that are the same. Okay, so far so good. Okay, that's the next one. All right, that guy can go with that. I'm just gonna kind of crisscross these. I suppose I'm getting a little picky by doing this, but oh, yep, see, that's the same color, so that's what I'm trying to avoid here. All right, these guys can go together. Okay, now let's get that light blue happening. Okay, and what do we got left? All right, that's different. Great. Okay, so we worked it out. All right, I'm actually kind of happy that we did that because there was one that was going to be goofy. All right, so I'm going to just set this. They're in pairs next to me here, and I'll just grab from there. Good. Excellent. So this is 5 left. Ooh, 5 left. Let's get the iron going. 5 left. Then we will press these. Ugh, and cut them. And I'm thinking that's about where we'll get tonight. But that's cool. That means we can start sewing them together tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday. Yeah, so we'll at least get... Man, I'd like to hope to think that we'd get at least, some pairs together. Although there will be 176 of these, so I don't know. Matching that many pairs, plus, what is it? That's like 88 pairs or something? Yeah, that would make sense. I don't know if we can do that many, because we also have to like line up all the seam allowances so they match up. We have to nest all those seam allowances, so that'll take an extra little bit of time compared to sewing these strips. Whew, man, that's like one of these hefty jobs where you do the same thing over and over again for a few hours, kind of like with these strips. Well, we'll do a start. We'll start on them. And after that, it's Finish It Friday. First Friday of the month, we work on something that's not done yet. I mean, we could really just continue on this, but I think what I'd like to do is embroider more on that Tyranno. I am really liking how he's turning out the Tyranno dress up. We made that super cute hat where we did that turkey work embroidery. That was really fun, and I think that turned out just so sweet. I would love to get a little further on him, like stitch his bubble jacket, and I think we can get pretty far on it. That turkey work took some time. But I like the idea of putting some little turkey work pom-poms on his ice skates. Like, that would be fun. So I'm kind of wanting to do that on Friday. I would still love to take a Saturday and just work on this project some more, like get the blocks done and stuff. Oh, Colleen, good point. Colleen says, first of the month oiling too. That's right, we should, actually that might be, we could do that first and then embroider a little, because, we'll kind of be done with this for a little. Regroup the machine, just throw a new needle on there, and just a little oiling. That's not a bad idea. So maybe we do that first, and then work on the Finish Friday. Maybe that's every Finish It Friday. We start with just oiling the machine, and then we can work on something. All right, here's the last grouping here. And then we can press. That'll take some time. That might take the rest of the time, actually, all this pressing. So yeah, we might just start cutting tomorrow. Ugh. All these little extra bits always surprise me at how long they take. Ooh, I'm going to sew this in there. Get that out of the way. We're getting this done, though. All right, let's throw another liter into this. Okay, I'm gonna grab me a scissors. All right, let's snip all of these apart. I'm going to scooch all this out of the way. Oh, I can kind of smell the machine. Maybe that's a signal that it's time to clean it out. The feels like I can smell the motor a little bit. All right, I'm just going to set these aside. I feel like I'm handling them a bit much. Like they're already kind of coming apart at some of the seams, so I'm handling them just too much. Oh, this guy's here, you guys. So again, a reminder, this is our embroidery of the month this month. This really cute letter to Santa. We'll be stitching that later this month. And yeah, so we have bundles for that going out right now. And the PDF pattern for it as well. All right, I have a new tool. This is from Marie as well. So you know how we've been using our Aurifil. This is kind of what we've been doing as a fun little trick. We've been taking one of our Aurifil cones here and then sticking a seam ripper in the top, and we've been kind of just taking off all these little pieces. This is a contraption that's kind of the same concept, and I haven't used it yet. So here is a seam ripper. I mean, in theory, you do this with when you're actually seam ripping long seams, but we can use it here too, I think. So it has a suction cup, so I'm going to just suction it to the table. So it's totally stuck to the table now, and I'm going to just snip all these. This is working perfectly. Okay, how funny is this? So versus a scissors, this is just kind of a lot quicker. It's less fuss on the hands too, and it's just kind of dang fun. I love that it's suction cupped here. So I'm just snipping all these guys apart. Okay, the suction cup works super duper well. That's funny. That's a pretty sound too, just that snip. All right, and then we are gonna press through this crazy stack that we're making. Gosh, I'm not even sure we'll finish pressing. Well, there's 28 of these, so I'd like to think we could do each one in less than a minute. I don't know. I'd like to think so. Boop. All right, cool. And then I guess we just lift that up. Yep, sure enough. How fun. All right, I definitely don't want to lose the cap for this. Like this. Oops, nope, there we go. For fun. All right, so this is by Fiskars, and gosh, how fun. So yeah, again, it suction cups to the table. That was slick. Okay, I did have a lot of fun using that. All right, cool. All right, now we need our pressing mat. I'm gonna get this on my right side, grab them from over there. Rotary cutter, don't need you yet. Okay, we are heated up, we are ready. So I think in the instructions would just press in one direction, you know, and then we'll twist and turn it later. So I'm going to just lay them down like this with the seams up, the raw edges up. And we'll just, again, I think it worked best when we pressed one edge and then the other edge and then kind of in the middle. I think we got the least wavy strips from doing it like that. And we just gotta kind of go through this a little bit. Flip it around. Get all them seams again. Oh, it's a little bit wavy. I definitely have not mastered pressing strips so they're all perfect. But whatever. I think we'll be fine in our case. All right, now we just gotta do that 27 more times. We can do it. Oh, definitely a success, Marie. That's just fun. Gadgets are just fun. I used to think, I mean, I still kind of think this. I like that you can, I like with quilting, you really don't need anything. Like, you literally could do it with a scissors, scrap fabric from like an old shirt, and a needle and thread, right? You don't even need a sewing machine, you don't need anything. But every little gadget does make things just easier and easier, and sometimes that makes it more fun because you get things done sooner. All like difficult little tasks become easier. So sometimes that's the way to like win in the sense of just relaxing, right? So, I'm definitely more open since we started all these Facebook Lives, really, with the gadgets and playing around with them. They really are just add an extra level of relaxing and cute and fun and to a project. So I am liking that. And that was a good example. Actually, every quilting gadget, it's like, well, why the heck would I need that, right? But man, they all just add just a level of ease to whatever the process is. Because that's the same feeling I was like with the add a quarter ruler for paper piecing and just all of it. You know, even this, like the cordless iron, like, why do I need a cordless iron? It works fine. But dang, this has made my life so much nicer. So, it's fun. I like the gadgets. I do still like that you don't actually need any of them. Like that, it is neat that quilting is still a craft that you don't need anything. But man, like quilting is one of those crafts that you can be as inexpensive, you can be as like cheap or as luxury as you want to be. You really can be. It's either it can be like the cheapest craft that ever existed, or it can be the most expensive. It's kind of crazy in that way. These are looking pretty dang cute. They look like little flags, don't they?